Shall we go for another Yankees news? But first, leave your like and subscribe to the channel to stay on top of everything. Remembering the Yankees, who had several passages in pinstripes. With Tommy Kahnle returning to the Yankees, let's look back on some notable players who had 2 rounds in the Bronx. On Tuesday, we got word that the Yankees were ready to sign reliever Tommy Kahnle to a 2-year deal. It won't be Kahnle's first time in the Bronx, as he played for the Yankees from 2017 to 2020. Additionally, the Yankees drafted him in 2010, and he spent 4 seasons with the organization before the Rockies signed him in the 2014 Rule 5 draft. The Yankees reuniting with Kahnle for yet another round got us thinking about other notable Yankees who had more than one distinct stint with the franchise. Goose Gossage. First stint, 1978-83, 518.2 innings, 2.10 ERA, 15.1 F/WAR. Second stint, 1989, 14.1 innings, 3.77 ERA, 0.2 F/WAR. The closer to the Yankees championship team in 1978, Gossage got fed up with the whole George Steinbrenner deal and left as a free agent for the Padres in 1984. After helping them to a World Series, Gossage was traded to the Cubs and would later sign with the Gigantes. With San Francisco, he struggled in 1989, which led to his release. The Yankees made a claim, and Gossage would spend the final weeks of the '89 season back in stripes. He put up slightly above average numbers before leaving and playing the next season in Japan. Tino Martinez. First stint, 1996 to 2001, 923 games, 0.279/0.348/0.488, 15.7 F/WAR. Second period, 2005, 131 games, 0.241/0.328/0.439, 0.2 F/WAR. Tasked with replacing Yankee legend Don Mattingly, Martinez stood his ground and helped the Yankees to 4 World Series titles from 1996 to 2000. However, his final seasons were not as impressive, and the Yankees took the opportunity to bring in Jason Giambi from the 2002 season and release Martinez. Giambi would really struggle in 2004, to the point where he was completely off the postseason roster after OPSing .328 in the second half while dealing with health issues. For 2005, as an insurance policy, the Yankees signed Martinez, who spent his time away from the Bronx having strong seasons with the Cardinals and Rays. The two would share duties at first base, with Giambi returning to form and Martinez doing a respectable job in what would be his final season. Bobby Murcer. First stint, 1965 to 74, 958 games, .282/.354/.459, 25.8 F/WAR. Second stint, 1979 to 83, 298 games, 0.260/.327/.429, 1.1 F/WAR. Murcer was a bright spot for the Yankees of the mid-'60s and early '70s, who were mired in and then emerged from CBS ownership. In 1974, he had a low season, almost certainly in part due to the Yankees playing their home games at Shea Stadium rather than the scrimmages of the house that Ruth built, which was being renovated. The Yankees then decided to trade him to the Giants for Bobby Bonds after the season. 5 years later, after Murcer missed out on the 1977 and '78 championships, the Yankees reacquired him from the Cubs as they tried to get back into the AL East race after a slow start in '79. Murcer's second stint produced arguably his most famous moment, when he drove in all 5 runs, including 2 in a 5-4 win on August 6. This was famously on the same day as Yankees captain Thurman Munson's funeral, at which Murcer delivered a eulogy. Murcer would play in the playoffs and World Series for the first time after returning to the Yankees, but unfortunately he would not get a ring to go along with his outstanding career. Andy Petite. First stint, 1995 to 2003, 1,792.2 innings, 3.94 ERA, 39.5 F4. Second stint, 2007 to 10, 2012 to 13, 1,003.2 innings, 3.93 ERA, 17.2 F4. You could almost split Petite into three separate Yankee stints, as he briefly retired in 2011 before returning for two more seasons in 2012 and 13. As far as annoying picks go, the Yankees letting Petite go between their two Bronx runs is probably the most frustrating on this list. It's not like the Yankees didn't hand out big contracts in the offseason between the 2003 and 2004 seasons. It's just that they didn't really focus on Petite, giving him the feeling that he was unwanted. He would receive an offer from the Astros and spend the next 2 years there. Turns out the Yankees may have needed a pitcher in the 2004 postseason that supposedly happened. The team finally corrected the mistake in 2007, and Petite enjoyed several more productive seasons in New York, becoming part of the core four and helping the Bombers to the 2009 World Series. David Roberston. First stint, 2008 to 14, 393.1 innings, 2.81 ERA, 8.3 F4. Second stint, 2017 to 18, 104.2 innings, 2.49 ERA, 2.5 F4. Houdini was a member of the 2009 championship team, but really came into his own around 2011, when he made his first, and thus far only, All-Star appearance. He was a key part of the bullpen during that era and took over the Yankees in 2014 following the retirement of Mariano Rivera. After that season, he signed with the White Sox as the Yankees brought in Andrew Miller to meet their bullpen needs. A few years later, in the midst of a playoff run, the Yankees reacquired him, along with Todd Frazier, and now two-time teammate Bomber Kahnle, in a trade from Chicago as they tried to fill some needs. He went on to provide another season and a half of good relief shots before the Yankees again opted to let him go in free agency. Robertson returned to the market this offseason, giving the Bombers a chance to make it 3 times for D-Rob, but the reliever signed with the Mets earlier this week. So, Yankees fans, what can we expect from Tommy Kahnle in his new stint with the Yankees? Leave it in the comments, it's really important to us.